Hey everybody, welcome back to Living in Kansas City. This is Max Jones. I am Zach Moore, and today we're going to be talking about the 3 fastest growing zip codes in the 5 major counties in the Kansas City metro area.
Yep, that is Clay County, Platte, Wyandotte, Jackson, and Johnson County, Kansas. And we are using the Q4 2024 data from our Heartland MLS. So if you're thinking about buying a home, stick around and find out where the action is and why these spots are booming.
Yet a couple of these are really surprising, so I think you're going to enjoy this. Let's dig in.
All right, let's dig in.
All right, so let's start with Clay County. That is going to be on the northeast side of Kansas City. It's an amazing county. We've got 64157 is our first zip code. The median sales price there hit $395 last year with 141 homes sold, which is up 14.6% from the year before. So that's pretty hot. And one of the main reasons is this is located in the Liberty School District. You'll find that we're going to be talking about another one that has to do with Liberty, but Liberty area is hot, and this is one of the zip codes that kind of caters to that area. A lot of new construction is also happening. We got 291, which is kind of the major highway that runs through there. And both sides of that highway has just seen construction booms all over the place for the last 10 years. It's been going pretty wild.
Yeah, Clay County is up 14% since 2010 per census data. And it's fueled by a lot of new subdivisions. One of those I actually live in Copperleaf. So in 64157, you have Shoal Creek Golf Course. It is really nice. Hodge Park is also in 64157. It's really that whole 291 corridor, which has subdivisions like Benson Place and Brook Ridge, several subdivisions right in that corridor. So lots of new construction in that 64157.
It's hot.
It is hot. And number 2 fastest growing zip code in Clay County is 64068. 64068 is the Liberty area. So the median price is at $287.5 with a 10.5% jump in sales for 189 homes. It's home to Liberty's charming downtown. It has a really nice little downtown square. I-35 goes right through 64068. And you've got jobs such as the Ford plant, which keeps things buzzing. I know they're putting in a new Google data center right in that area by the Ford plant. Plus you have a lot of new retail going in. It includes the Liberty Triangle. It actually goes way out into the country off H Highway. You've got Stocksdale Park out there. Just an enormous zip code, as you can see on the map.
Yep. Good school districts, great highway access, and a little bit of everything in this zip code. You've got from the old downtown historic district all the way out into the country, and then stuff built all over the last 30 years. So you've got a really big mix of all property types in this zip code with a great school district.
Yeah, and a lot of it goes to Liberty North. If you check out our Liberty video, you'll see that coming soon around the Liberty North High School is a new development called the Montage. And it is going to be chock full of mixed use with multifamily, a lot of commercial, a lot of residential homes, single family homes. So it's going to be a huge development all around Liberty North High School. So it is set for a ton of growth. All right, the third zip code in Clay County.
64119, and this is kind of pretty close to our office. This is kind of the heartland of the Northland, right smack in the middle near 169. I will mention that everything in Clay County is on the Missouri side. So we are in Missouri right now talking about these awesome zip codes in Clay County. In 64119, their sales are up 8.8% in 2024 with over 198 homes that had sold. So things are going pretty good there. This is a really nice area too. It's got a mix of everything. It's got some established neighborhoods that have been around for a while that are set up real nice with great access to amenities. And it's also got some new subdivisions like Carriage Hills, where they're still building in there today. And there's some really nice new builds. It's still, you've got good schools, you got access, great highway access on the east side, the west side, north and south. It's just a really good spot. I mean, that's why our office is there and centrally located to the Northland.
Yeah, a lot of good subdivisions in there. And also on the east side of the zip code, tucked in right along 435, is the new Mormon temple. So tons of development around that. Just a really great area and still some room for development in there. So a lot of growth poised for 64119.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps up Clay County. If we head west, just one county over, still in the Northland, we've got Platte County. All right, over in Platte County,
Missouri. We are just west of Clay County, and we are just south of the airport, north of the river, throwing all the directions at you. So Platte County, 64152, it's a great spot. It's really close to where I live. It's where I went to high school at the Park Hill School District. So it starts with a great school district, and it has a lot of amenities. There are a lot of great neighborhoods here. There's a lot of older neighborhoods as well, so another great mix with I-29 that kind of runs right through the middle of it. And then we've got a river that borders it on the west side, so nobody can get you from the west. What I really like about this is there's a lot of lake communities here. So we've got lakes with new construction, we've got older lakes that have been around for a while, and then we've got lakes that kind of have a lot of land and larger horsepower. So you'd get a really good mix of lake properties in this particular zip code. And then you got great golf course communities too, with the National. And then one of my favorite quaint little towns with a great riverside park is Parkville, and that's also located in this district as well.
Yeah, Weatherby Lake and Thousand Oaks.
Wrist Lake.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal zip code. Probably one of my favorites, in the Kansas City metro area, really. But still lots of growth over on the western end of the zip code up against the river where 435 is. Headed out towards 435, you got Riverstone, and Hunt Midwest is developing that whole area there just west of Zona Rosa. So still a lot of room for growth there.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts about that is we are 15 minutes to downtown and 15 minutes to the airport. So just a perfect split between the airport and downtown action.
Oh yeah.
My park, throw this somewhere in the Parkville 64152 is the stats for that. For the stats for 64152 have soared. Median sales price right now is $491, or was for last year, which had sales up 15.8% over 139 homes that sold in 2024. So looking pretty good for 64152.
All right, and then after 152, we've got 64153 right there, just on the north side of 152. And it encompasses the whole airport and Tiffany Springs area. It is pretty wide open, really. I mean, that area hasn't really been developed a whole lot except along I-29. So 64153 has median price point at $375,000 with a sales increase of 22.2%, up 33 homes in Q4. It's got Zona Rosa shopping and a lot of new apartments. Population is booming there due to the job growth. And it's also nestled in just under our next zip code, which is the fastest growing, I think, in the city, is that whole Platte County R3 school district. So our third zip code,
64079, which encompasses a lot of Platte City. So that's the zip code I think of when I think of Platte City, which is on the north side of Platte County and closest to the airport, and it is growing like crazy. Like Max said, they're getting ready to build a new high school. There's a couple spots they're looking at, and that's where all this growth is happening. We're already seeing all kinds of retail kind of push north from Berry Road with new subdivisions. I mean, they're moving dirt right now. All kinds of action is happening north of Berry Road.
Yep. Yeah, so median price there is $325. Sales are up 12.5% to 45 homes. And it's really a little more affordable than Parkville, that 64152 zip code. Great solid schools with the Platte County R3 that Zach mentioned. I think there's a Platte City South High School that will be going in. So that whole area is just ripe for growth. Even over on the west side, you can see on the map is a lot of acreage properties where it's not a bunch of subdivisions that have been developed out yet. So I think we're gonna see a ton of growth there, in that Platte City school district.
All right, now we're moving over into Kansas. We're kind of going west, kind of counterclockwise, and we're over into Kansas into Wyandotte County. And it's actually got a pretty good mix of everything. A little more urban, a little more, there's more acreage properties and stuff to the north. And then we're getting closer to the action as you head to the south. We've got 66109, Kansas City, Kansas.
Yeah, 66109 is right in just north of the Kansas City Speedway, the speed track there. And it is Piper School District, which is really attractive schools. The median prices have jumped up to $375,000 with sales an increase of 18.2% for 91 homes in Q4. The Village West retail is a boom, the Legends Outlet Mall and the Kansas Speedway. Plus there's new jobs at the Amazon warehouse, the distribution center is really driving a lot of demand. So great area. I would say it's the taxes are a little bit higher there. They used a neighborhood improvement tax to develop a lot of that area, that big Legends shopping mall. So the taxes are a little bit higher, not terrible, but noticeable.
Yeah. And it could be the future home of the Chiefs.
I hope not, but that would be kind of cool.
Never know, but it's certainly poised for growth. They are putting in that new Margaritaville kind of hotel vacation spot, or
Vacation Village.
Vacation Village. So this whole area has been poised for growth, and it for the last 10 years has been adding all kinds of new commercial amenities. So it's really cool, and it's a place that I go frequently for, like, to hit my Bass Pro Shops or my Nebraska Furnitures. You can't sport bet in Missouri right now, so the closest place for us is to head over to the casino right there in Wyandotte and place our sports bets.
Yeah, you also have Wyandotte County Lake out there, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of equestrian horse riding out there, and a pretty neat little lake there right just south of the river.
Yep. All right, what's our next zip code, Max? We've got 66104.
Yeah, so 66104 is just a little east 66109, and kind of surprised me really as we were doing our research that it would come up as one of the fastest growing areas. We actually own a little investment property over there. I've always thought of it as, not the greatest area, but, especially east of 635. But I can see where there could be room for growth, because as you head over towards that Piper School District along Parallel Parkway, it just keeps getting nicer and nicer. So it might be a good opportunity zip code.
Yeah, I think so. And it's got great highway access on the east side, that 635. So it gets you a lot of places. I'm on that all the time. And then as you head west, you're getting right towards the action. I mean, this actually runs right into the Legend shopping area, the Speedway, all that good stuff. So what else I like about this zip code is it's super affordable. So we are called Kansas City, Kansas. The median sales price for Q4 was $162,500 with 25% sales spike, which is pretty huge, over 75 homes. So yeah, like Max said, this is probably one of those opportunity areas.
All right, and then our third fastest growing zip code for Wyandotte County is 66111.
Edwardsville.
Yeah, Edwardsville. I always forget about Edwardsville. It's really tucked in there, and it does encompass the Kansas City Speedway. It's really a rural area for being kind of in the city center. And yeah, I mean, I know I've listed an acreage property out in Edwardsville before, just on the north side, a little commercial district in here right along the river. It also kind of is tucked in right alongside Bonner Springs, which is its own city in of itself. But median prices hit $275 and sales are up 20% in that area. Its proximity to I-70 is really attractive. There's a lot of new industrial jobs, and it still has that rural charm, like I mentioned. So, if you want to get a little 5-acre property and get it in an affordable area, this could be a really good place to do it.
Yeah, and you're still really close to a lot of amenities. Even if you go south down into Johnson County, or you go north and get back into that area that we've been talking about with the Kansas Speedway, it's really close to a lot of stuff, but you can kind of get out in the quiet, secluded country land if you want.
Yeah, just across the river too is Lake Quivira, which is one of Kansas City's best little areas for lake property. They also have a little golf course there. So really exclusive area just across the river from Edwardsville. All right, let's head over to Jackson County and talk about the three fastest growers there. What do we...
Yeah, and Jackson County is back to the Missouri side, and right in the heart of Kansas City. This is probably where a lot of the action started as Kansas City started to grow. And 64113 is the one we're talking about first, and that is Brookside, which we talk a lot about. It's a very popular kind of neighborhood zip code area, kind of on the south side of Kansas City's downtown.
Yeah, really charming area, known for its Tudor houses. People will say they look like little Smurf houses with the sloped roofs. Really charming area. We've got videos on Brookside specifically, but they, don't always come with your own driveway or your own garage. So if you get a house with its own driveway that isn't shared and its own detached garage, you're in tall cotton in Brookside. Yeah. Just on the north side of the zip code is Luce Park, which I like to think of as Kansas City's Central Park. Just a really great place. It's here on the map. A great place to hang out and, do all your park activities. And it sits just on the south side of the plaza, which is, one of Kansas City's most attractive, most expensive real estate areas. So,
yeah. The median sales price there jumped up to $580,000, which is up 26.9%, which is pretty huge, with over 88 homes in Q4. So that's a pretty big jump. Yeah, and it's a pretty happening place. When we were doing our airport interview, we bumped into a lot of people that were also from Brookside and loved Brookside. So it's a happening spot, super walkable, like Max said, super cute and quaint. School districts, maybe not so much, but there is a lot of private school and other charter school options down there. And then it's just something to know is the streets aren't wide. So, you know, you might be getting door dings and stuff if you're parking in the streets, and, you know, your car insurance is probably going to be a little higher down there because there's a lot more of that Vanderbilt kind of narrow street kind of stuff.
But if you come to us and you say, I don't want anything cookie cutter, then that kind of makes me think of Brookside, because it is anything but cookie cutter. It's really charming.
Super walkable and a nice little city center.
Yeah. If you cross the state line, you're in Mission Hills, which is where we call it the Mission Hillbillies. A lot of people struck oil that live in Mission Hills, so very affluent area.
Yeah.
But our second fastest growing zip code in Jackson County is, all right, so 64086. What is there to say about it?
Yeah, just land of the lakes. This is a place where it's a little like bigger lakes, so you can have boats with higher horsepowers. There's several different options. You can have a couple of these lakes will have like a main marina dock where you keep your boat at. Some of them will have docks in the backyard. So a lot of different options here. There's a sail-y lake, there's a public lake, there's a really nice expensive lake over there in Lake Lotawana. So a lot of fun stuff happening. There's also a lot of golf out here. There's great schools, there's tons of new construction. I mean, Lee Summit has a lot of great stuff going for it. It's on the southeast side of the city. So if you find yourself going like down to Lake of the Ozarks while we're talking about lakes, which a lot of people do all summer long, it puts you on the right side of the city for a super short trip down south. Even if you're heading down to like Arkansas or doing float trips, or there's all kinds of fun stuff to do in southern Missouri.
Yeah, lots of new developments like Paragon Star, and a lot of job growth in the healthcare market, the healthcare industry. So really makes it a suburban gem.
Yep. And they're doing some other commercial stuff too that I think is great. The new go-kart track out there, what's it called? Speedway or whatever. That's pretty fun. They just moved it over there, but all kinds of new stuff, shooting clubs. They're seeing a boom right now over there at Lee Summit.
Yeah, just on the south side of Lee Summit is Greenwood, which is a really fast growing area also.
Yeah, I was just down there yesterday. Our third zip code for Jackson County is 64149, which is Kansas City and kind of the Longview area. And by Longview, I'm talking about Longview Lake. Hey, we're still in this Jackson County down near Lee Summit, so it's a nice big lake. This one's kind of known for the wakeboarders. All the wakeboarders go there.
Yeah, Longview Lake, just on the south side, is a really rural area. I could see where there could be a lot of development down there. You know, median price point hit $474, and sales are up 10%. It's near Longview Lake, of course, which is, you know, kind of quieter area. A lot of luxury build jobs are going in down there on some, you know, smaller acreages, 2, 3, 4, 5 acres. A lot of easy highway access. You can hit 49 highway and, you know, be up on 435 really quick, 470. So a really great area there just south of the lake.
All right, we're saving one of the most popular counties in Kansas City for last, and that is Johnson County. So it's one of the biggest counties, the most popular, has some of the best school districts, so there's a lot of great things. We talk about Johnson County and the suburbs in Johnson County all the time. This is, I mean, most of the calls that we get are people coming in wanting to take advantage of what Johnson County has to offer. Our first zip code that we're going to talk about is 66223, which is Overland Park.
Yeah, it's Kansas City, the Metro's powerhouse. Overland Park is 66. There's more than one zip code in Overland Park, but this is the fastest growing one. It's right along the 69 highway. As you're coming down 35, 69 shoots straight down south, and really great area. It's got
he goes right through the middle of Overland Park, so that's a nice highway that's been a fairly, I mean, not brand new, but a recent addition.
Yeah, you got the museum at Prairie Fire right there.
And golf courses. I think there's over like 87 parks. Everything is really nice. This is kind of one of those places where you can live and work because there's a lot of business there, as well as a lot of neighborhoods. And at the north side, you know, it's the older kind of the downtown Overland Park. And then as you go south through it, you get nicer, bigger, more expensive neighborhoods. The median price for Q4 was $475. Which had sales up 12% over the year before on 65 homes. So pretty steady, just steady Eddie growth, which is kind of what Overland Park's all about.
Yeah, Blue Valley schools can't be beat. Some of the best in the whole state of Kansas. Plus a lot of corporate jobs. You've got the Sprint old headquarters there, right on 119th by Town Center. and a lot of mixed use projects. It's really, really amazing area. So don't know what else to say about it.
Good spot with a lot of amenities. That's going to be a kind of a theme here for Johnson County. Next we have 66062, which is kind of the Olathe area, which is kind of getting towards the south side of Johnson County, Kansas. The median hit 385,000 in Q4, which is up 8.3% over 195 homes. So again, nice steady growth down there in Olathe. And you know, Olathe again is great schools. There's a lot of new construction happening down there, a lot of great older neighborhoods as well. And people who live in Olathe love Olathe. You'll never get an Olathe person to move out of Olathe, man. They're just like, I don't know. Like,
it's massive. I mean, you've got Olathe north, south, east, west, high schools. I mean, it is a huge area. So this area that's the fastest growing, 66062, is on the south side, and you can see that there's room for growth there. So Olathe is growing in all directions, and this 66062 has Heritage Park, which is just a really fantastic park with lots of ball fields and some of the most beautiful real estate as you're driving out to Heritage Park are some of these properties out here. It's just 135th. My map doesn't say, but I mean, it's a stunning area. And you know, if you want to build out on a few acres to the south side, you've got the option. If you want to live in a subdivision, just an amazing area. The only bad thing I'd say is that it's a little bit of a trek to get to the airport, but other than that, Olathe has everything you need.
yeah, I kind of always, it's like an appendage on the south side of Kansas City, but it's dense, but it's just, you know, it's continuing to grow kind of in all directions. So everything's, as you get on the outskirts, everything is nice and new, and all these new neighborhoods, and everything flows real good. So Olathe is really nice, but just a little bit of a drive. And if you're going to the airport, international airport, it's a little longer to get up there. But other than that, it's a great place, great schools.
Yeah, opposite side of the city from where I live, but we still sell a lot of homes in Olathe. And if you're from out of town, you're going to want to call it Olathe. And
Olathe, we hear that a lot.
Yeah, it's a dead giveaway that you're not from Kansas City, so it's Olathe. All right, and our last zip code in Johnson County, one of the best places that you can possibly live in the whole Kansas City metro area.
66209, which is the Leawood area. Median price was $625,000, which was up 10% over 44 homes for Q4.
Yeah.
Luxury is what I kind of think of when I think of Leawood.
Yeah, it is. It's very luxurious. Excellent schools with the Blue Valley schools. It's proximity to town center, I mean, which is also an Overland Park, but that's a really attractive part about it. Olathe, just right on the border, the Kansas-Missouri border, and it's the best. You know, for a median price range to be $625, that means there are some really nice homes in there that drag up that median price point.
Yeah. When I think of Leawood, I think of big mature trees, nice large lots, older homes that have been well maintained, a lot of big like sprawling ranches. And now they're going in and of course taking houses down and putting nice new houses in these older subdivisions because everybody wants to be there. It's super walkable, kind of a flat little cozy, quaint, beautiful, luxurious area.
Yeah, you got Tomahawk Creek Parkway that runs through there. Just like really charming area that you can't beat it.
So what's the takeaway? These zip codes are growing fast, and some of that's due to we've got great schools, we've got job growth, we've got new developments, you name it. But it really comes down to what's important to you. We've got prices that are rising, like in 61152 at $375K as the median price, and then you go down to Leawood, that's 66209 at $625. So there is a huge range of opportunities. Days on market are like 50 in Clay County, but other areas it goes a little faster. You got to get in there quick. So you just got to be smart and be ready, and that's why we're making these videos for you.
Yeah, that 50 days on market average that's for all homes. So the good ones are actually selling a little bit quicker. So be poised to pounce for the really good ones that back to green space and have all the things you're looking for. So that is your Q4 2024 zip code roundup. Which one is your favorite? Comment below. Let us know what you think. And if you want any more details on these, hit us up anytime. We would love to hear from you. You know, you can like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But I'll just say that Zach and I have been in the business for over 20 years. We help a few hundred people every year. We absolutely love it. We've got over 700 reviews online. So if you want to do your due diligence on us, check us out anytime, or just reach out to us, schedule a Zoom call. We would love to go over in detail with you about what's important to you, really zero in on your priorities. So until then, we will hit you up in the next video.
See you over there.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.